Y'all, I am not even gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. It's starting to feel discouraged. I am so discouraged. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to another God's Little Makeup Artist Talk. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. That way you're notified of all of my future uploads. And don't forget to hit that like button so that more people can be introduced to this channel. Yeah. Today I feel very discouraged. I remember how I told you guys how I lost my job in January. For those of you guys who have been watching or been following my videos, it has not been an easy 7-8 months. It's like 7.5 months. And you know, I qualified for unemployment, of course, to have so that I can just look for work and still be able to pay my bills. Had unemployment and then learned that I exhausted the funds for unemployment. And if you guys are familiar with how unemployment works, you're not getting a full paycheck. I mean, you're getting something that's gonna hold you over. And it was holding me over, but I was barely getting by. I'm still barely getting by. It's very hard, it's not easy. For every notice to vacate or eviction, whatever you wanna call it, notice to vacate, I take every last one of those notices that I get because, you know, I've been paying rent late. It gets paid every month, but it gets paid late into the month. So I'm paying that fee. I haven't seen my rent in months. I've been paying my rent plus the fees, but I haven't been able to pay off other things, which has put me in a position to where it's not that I've been finding myself having to ask, but as you know, the Lord really does use people to reach out to you, to extend a helping hand, which is something that I'm very grateful for. This is a very humbling position to be in. Discouraging, yes, but still very humbling. People that have been reaching out to help me who don't even have it, you know what I'm saying? And it's more difficult because I would like to be able to help other people. And in the position that I'm in right now, I just don't. I already know that God's here. I know that He hasn't left me. I'm incredibly grateful and I'm so thankful because for these 7.5 months, God has managed to come through miraculously. You know, miracles may look like something different for other people, but for me, you see Matthew chapter 6 really come to life. He's like, what is worrying? Is that going to add to your life? But no, to worry and to be stressed out over things that you cannot control, things that are not in front of you right now. And sometimes we come up with these scenarios. We start to jump ahead of ourselves. For myself, it's difficult right now because I'm really trying not to jump ahead of God. So today this week I have a total of 3 interviews, praise God. I already went to the first one on Monday. They really loved me, really loved me. But even with that, I try my best to be careful with those words because I had an interview today and it really genuinely seemed like they loved me too. But then I found that I didn't get that job. Now these are not the first jobs that I've interviewed for. These are probably like 6th or 7th. I think I've applied to like 6 or 7 total. No, sorry. I've been to 6 or 7 or 6, somewhere around there, you guys. So, you know, over the last 7.5 months. And it is not usual for me to not get a job. To me, it seems more spiritual than anything else. It's hard for me not to look at life in the way that things are done nowadays, or just period and in general, or even look back on things like, oh my gosh, like, you know, now that the veil has been removed and I see everything clear, It's no longer easy to get work anymore. This is hard, y'all. And since, exhausting, the funds for unemployment, I don't have rent for August. And so now I'm looking for assistance. For some people, it's always so easy for them to get rental assistance and utility assistance. And for me, it's always been so difficult. But even now, with the small amount of faith in this department that I have, like, one thing about me is that I'm still going to have faith in the Lord, that I will be able to get some type of assistance. And I was just talking to the Lord last night, and I was telling him that I really enjoy my time with him, and that I wouldn't want for anything to come in between my time with the Lord. I love knowing that I can walk into my apartment and I already, like, the aroma is my relationship with the Lord. I spend a lot of my time with God here in this apartment. I can't be around people if it's going to be something that's going to cause me to feel anxiety, which is what the Lord tells us not to feel. But my relationship with him and spending this time with him, I don't want it to be interrupted. So no, although I've told the Lord that if I were to ever lose my apartment, it was never mine in the first place, because it's not. It's not. The Lord gave me a place to live, food to eat, no matter how it came, through mom, grandmother, unemployment. The amount of times I've applied to food stamps, 3 times, and they declined me all 3 times, even though I had no work since January. It's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. And even right now, with feeling slightly hopeless, I still believe that there's either a job for me or something's gonna happen. Something from God is going to happen. It's gotta be something. To be a believer, to be a Christ follower, it's not my job to present to you perfection, because that isn't me. Believers go through it. I am going through it. The joy that the Lord gives me in the middle of a trial, while in a fiery furnace, while in hardship, knowing that electricity is due at the beginning of the month. I don't have that at this time. I don't have my rent at this time. My phone was scheduled to be turned off at any day now. It is very hard, but even now, a lot of the times the Lord just wants for you, or at least I could say I know what he wants. It seems like what he's wanting for me to do is to lean on him regardless. When Lazarus died in the Bible, it was Mary and Martha's brother. He was out for like 4 days, I think. And there was some frustration because, they told Jesus, if only you had gotten here sooner, then Lazarus' death could have been prevented. But see, Jesus already knew what was going to happen. He wasn't late. God's timing is always the right timing. How else can God will get the glory. He will get the glory. And it's usually those moments where people are like, wait, well, how did this happen? There was a deadline. Whatever we think our deadline is not God's timing. It's not always God's timing. Sometimes God will come through right before the deadline. Or he'll come just in time at that deadline, right? Or he'll come in time, which is his time, after that deadline. So something could be, could come and go to you or to me that I missed the deadline. But God did not. And then even when it doesn't seem like I see anything moving, even that can be discouraging. I start wondering if God is here, which is a common thought for believers to have, but we've got to remind ourselves that yes, God is still here. Even when we don't feel him, it doesn't mean that he's not here. It doesn't mean that he's not working. It doesn't mean that He doesn't see your outcome if you hang on to him. Don't stray off. There's temptations. Start going into survival mode, whatever that looks like. Survival mode. I'm supposed to hang on to Jesus. I'm supposed to keep on going. Keep on going. God will get the glory. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And then I think of the Israelites, the way that God provided for them, the way that he rescued the Israelites out of the hands of Egypt. The Egyptians were on their way to, come and take down the Israelites. God could have taken them the short way, but no. God took them the long way. And that long way led them through the split sea. But see, the sea didn't split until they stepped onto that water. Until Moses put that staff, until he put it out. But he went by God's instruction. Faith. Even up to that last moment. Even when you don't know what you're going to do. Even though you don't know what's going to happen. How it's going to turn out. You just got to trust God anyway. You got to trust his instructions. This is where I'm at right now. Refraining from comparison. Because I cannot compare my situation to someone else's. That can be a battle. It can be a battle if I allow myself to dwell on that thought. To God be the glory. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. The devil will do all his best to make you think that God is nowhere to be found. He's not here. Your belief is foolish. God won't save you. The devil likes to suggest other ideas outside of God's will so you can screw up. But we don't know how close we are. We don't know how close we are to the door that God is opening for us. And Jesus the light. He's the light to our feet. Nothing else can get us to our destination. And so I just wanted to get on here and talk to you guys about that. Yes, I'm feeling a little discouraged, but in this moment I'm praying to the Lord that he will give me peace that surpasses all of my understanding. Sometimes you can feel so confident about something, and when it falls through, it's like you hit the ground like hard. It's like it's like a shot to the heart. Of course, that I pray that he'll continue to go before me in everything that I do. I desire that God will get the glory, and in the meantime, I'll continue to do my ministry. Because after all, this is what my heart really actually desires anyway. Okay.